The storm hit hard that night, but somehow the HOA still showed up. Karen was already yelling before I even stepped outside. That's when I knew this was about to get worse. "Open this now," she screamed. "Over what? A violation?" Noticed in the middle of a storm.
Yeah.
They'd crossed the line. I stepped out, trying to stay calm. This couldn't wait until morning. I asked Karen. Didn't even hesitate. Double quotes, no, it couldn't. Tom, the security guy, was already snooping around, flashlight in hand, like we were criminals. Even he looked uncomfortable, like he knew this wasn't right. Then my grandfather stepped out, didn't say a word at first, just watched them. That silence made everything tense. Karen turned her attention to him. Big mistake, she had no idea who she was dealing with, and honestly, neither did I. "Is this really necessary?" he asked. His voice was calm and steady. No anger, no rush, just quiet confidence. In the middle of chaos, Shirley waved the papers like they meant everything. HOA regulations. She snapped as if that justified this insanity. In the middle of a storm, the road behind them was already flooding. The only way out was the bridge, and the water was rising fast, but they didn't seem to notice. That's when I saw it. Grandpa glanced toward the bridge. Just for a second, and everything clicked. That bridge wasn't just old wood, it was the only way in or out. And Grandpa knew it better than anyone, better than the HOA ever could. Without another word, Grandpa started walking, not toward them, but toward the bridge. I hesitated for a second. Then I followed. Karen paused mid-round. "Where is he going?" she asked. Even Tom looked unsure. Now something had shifted. The mechanism hadn't been used in years. Most people didn't even know it worked. But Grandpa built half of it himself, and tonight, it mattered. He set the lantern down carefully, like he'd done this 100 times before. No rush, no hesitation, just quiet purpose. "Grandpa," I started to ask, but he didn't answer. He didn't need to. I was about to find out. Then he pulled the lever. Slow at first, like waking something up. Something old, but powerful. The bridge creaked loudly, chains tightening as it began to rise. The sound cut through the storm, and finally, they noticed. "Wait, what is he doing?" Karen's voice changed instantly. That confidence, gone, replaced with panic. By that time they reacted. It was already too late. The bridge was halfway up, and they were stuck on the wrong side. The water kept rising. Slow but steady. Their trucks weren't going anywhere, and neither were they. Karen rushed forward, mud splashing with every step. "Put that down right now." But her voice didn't carry the same weight anymore. Grandpa didn't move, didn't argue, just stood there, quietly, watching them finally understand. The creek was turning into a river, fast. Stronger than it looked. Crossing it now wasn't an option. Even Tom stepped back. "This might not be safe," he said quietly. For once, he wasn't enforcing anything, just stating the obvious. Karen finally stopped shouting, looked around, took it all in, and realized she'd pushed too far. The bridge was fully raised now, a clean divide. On one side dry and safe, the other, not so much. I stood next to Grandpa. Neither of us said a word. We didn't need to. The message was clear. They started talking among themselves. No more yelling. No more threats, just quiet worry. Night settled in. The rain didn't stop, and neither did the water. They were in for a long night. The hours started to drag. No one was yelling anymore, just waiting and thinking. Karen stayed quiet for the first time all night. No commands, no complaints, just silence. Even Tom changed his tone, helping instead of enforcing. Funny how fast things shift when control disappears. By midnight, the rain eased up. Everything grew quieter. The road was still covered in water, but at least it wasn't getting worse. Inside, it was quiet, warm, dry. Grandpa just sat there calmly, like nothing unusual had happened. I kept watching them. Part of me felt bad, but another part remembered everything. All the times they pushed too far. "They'll be fine," Grandpa said. Didn't even look up. They just needed time to think. By early morning, the storm was gone. Only mist remained in silence. The water finally started dropping. Slowly, revealing the road. Freedom was close, but the lesson wasn't over yet. Karen stood up quietly, no shouting this time, just waiting. Very different from last night. Grandpa grabbed his coat and headed back to the bridge. Same calm walk, like clockwork. I followed again. This time, I knew what was coming, but they didn't care. Not yet. Not yet. They all watched him. No one said a word, just waiting carefully this time. Sail lever. Same mechanism, but a very different moment. Everything had changed overnight. He lowered the bridge, slow and steady. No rush, just like before. The path was open again. Simple as that. They could leave. Finally, Karen approached carefully. No anger left, no attitude, just something different. She spoke quietly this time. Couldn't hear everything, but I didn't need to. The tone said it all. One by one, they left. No sirens, no shouting, just engines fading into the distance like nothing ever happened. Grandpa looked out over the water and back at me some lessons. He said, "You only learn the hard way.